Hey guys, Long Haul Larry, and we're up here in the Upper House. We're doing using pops and a couple other tools, and we're trying to see if we can start maybe messing around. We used a bucket, and Tracy's gotten pretty proficient on the tractor, and we got the stumps out. It's actually really easy. They were pretty rotten. Hit it with the tractor and just scooped them and ripped them right out of the ground. But we've been finding a few rocks in our yard. That's a whole wagon full. Tracy and her granddaughter are big into collecting rocks, and my idea is up in the front. I'm gonna put a sidewalk over to the front porch, and from the sidewalk to the house, I said let's put down some fabric, and you guys can put all your rocks in there and stuff. That way I don't have to mow in there and everything else, you know. And I think we got a pretty good start for a rock garden. What do you guys think? That was a big rock. Tracy dug that out with the tractor, and I think it was big. I tell you what, it was a testament to those rams. They worked. But this one here was super heavy for how small it was. I think it's like granite or something. But that thing in there, I got a picture of it when it was loaded in there, and I'll put it up on here now. We've been just working, digging out rocks and everything else that's sticking out of the yard. This is where that huge stump was, and it was a big hole that it dug up. I mean, you could see it from right there all the way over to here. It had a pretty good root system. That was a big tree. But I got it out of there, and we just kind of, she backed up. I just had her tilting a bucket, kind of instructing, and she scraped the dirt back kind of into it. It's gonna have to be raked and everything else. And there was also another stump right there, and then there was a huge rock that was dug out of here and stuff, and then from spinning the tires dug down a little bit. So this ought to be all smoothed out. We got the clothesline posts out of here, but we started working in this stuff over here. Oh, look at this. These are all the chunks of rotten stumps and everything that we're taking out of here. We're putting in a pile over here. We're gonna have to burn this. And this is all the chunks of the stumps that were pulled out of the ground. And that big roll thing right there, that's actually a carpet. It's like some orange shag carpet. And I found it over there. There was big rocks back in there that Tracy was messing around with, digging out of there because she wants to put them up in her rock garden and getting them into the scoop of the tractor and all this stuff. And and we're digging in, and I was like, what in the world is this? We're finding all kinds of surprises in here. But we took a break and went in and had some dinner. And I think Tracy's calling it quits for the night. But we used this tractor, and I used the strap to pull out some of these trees. Basically, any tree that's not an evergreen or a pine tree is coming out of here. And that's gonna go way back into there. I'm gonna put a shop back there, but it's gonna take a lot of this out of here. And so we kind of dug through this just to see what's in here and stuff. We're down to pretty much dirt, but I used a strap and I tied it on there and had her back up and everything. And Pops was working great, ripping the stuff up. And it did pull out. It was a struggle, and the strap kept coming loose and everything. I need more of I think a chain or cables or something like that. And we just got done eating dinner, and I thought, you know what? Let's put the CF Moto to the task. And so I came out here and I got the winch out. And the cable actually works pretty good for pulling out trees. No, it's been too long. I gotta turn my winch back on. You gotta hold two buttons on the remote here. Okay. So now it's back on. But I've actually ripped that big tree out of there. I ripped it out with the winch side by side. And I got it running just because it's so battery power. Let's see, watch this. And it's just ripping it out. Pulling all the roots out. And there we go. And so now I don't have to sit here and dig ruts out or dull a chainsaw and hit dirt and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna be pulling these trees all out here, and the bigger ones I'll have to use the tractor for. Well, I think you all know how Tracy likes her rocks. And I have been digging in the backyard, trying to get some stumps and everything else out. And we've been digging rocks out that are poking up, trying to get the backyard all smoothed out. And these are just a few of the rocks that we have found. But we're going to be building a big rock garden up here. And you can kind of see this red line maybe in the camera. It's going to be here, and then go along here, and then over by the door. And that's going to be a sidewalk that I'm going to pour. And it's going to go over to where the front deck's going to be poured. And it's going to come all the way over here to the driveway. And that's going to be all concrete, and then all that'll be a rock garden. She likes her rocks, so there you go. So we put a bunch of big ones in there, and then she's going to just pick up smaller rocks here and there. And we actually just went for a cruise and went on down to the lake, and she got a bunch more rocks. We got that fabric down so the stuff don't grow, the grass won't be growing up in between them, and we got to kind of brush the dirt out that's in there. I was thinking we might power wash these rocks or whatever to get the mud and dirt off of them. I'll show you in the backyard what we've been doing. And I'll show you guys the backyard. You can hear all the sand inside there. That's Tracy. She's getting on sanding that furniture. This is kind of my junk pile that's going to the junkyard. All the metal junk I'm finding, I keep throwing it there and load it up. This is a big old pile of all the stumps and stuff that I'm breaking up and pulling out of the ground. Gonna have to burn all that. So that our property line is actually like right over here, like right here going back. And so everything this way is coming out. We're going to make this into a nice yard back here. But I'm using the tractor, and I use the side-by-side. The side-by-side's a little bit easier on the smaller trees. A little quicker. I can use the winch on it. And I just pull it down in here and then use the winch. I just got done doing that. A bunch of little trees back here. And I could pull those out pretty fast with the side-by-side. Just using the winch. But then the bigger trees, I got to use the tractor for. And they can actually be a little bit hard for the tractor too. The dirt here is awesome. It's really good topsoil. It's really nice. Be really good for growing in there and stuff. Just all the rocks. I mean, what I'm doing right now, I mean, there's a huge boulder in there. There's all kinds of big rocks all in this here. But what I'm doing is I am trying to make a lane. I'm going to be going all the way back to these evergreen trees. I just got done pulling all these trees. I gotta take them out of here. Gotta take them out and throw them on the pile. But basically, we're going all the way into the evergreens there, right up to the edge of the evergreens, all the way along here. And that big tree on the ground, that's actually up off the ground. It's a good dry tree, so I'll probably cut that up with the chainsaw or fire pit wood. But then all this has got to come out too. Anything besides an evergreen is coming out of here. And we're going to reclaim the lawn. And what I'm trying to do is, see there's like big boulders in here and stuff. Just even trying to get back here with the tractor. I just keep constantly digging up big rocks as I'm coming back through here. What we're going to do is, we don't have any more space for the big rocks up in there in the rock garden. She said, that's enough. You can see there's another one back there in the woods. But I'm going to make like a lane here that I can scoop all these rocks up, and I'm just going to make a big pile back here in the woods, just in the edge of the evergreens there. And just kind of dump them in there. My shed that I'm going to build is going to end probably where this dead tree is here. That's probably where the shed will end. And it'll probably go up to close up to that where that burn barrel is. It'll be this little area right in here that the shed is going to be in. So I need to get all these big boulders out here and everything, so I'm going to have to excavate all this and then bring in some gravel and stuff and compact it and everything before I concrete. And look at this. I have half the floor painted. I painted this half. I did this yesterday, cleaned it all up, and this thing looks awesome. I mean, you can see the crack that goes along here and stuff. I don't have my LED lights on. I have to go over there, turn them on. You can see those cracks in there, but that's fine. But the rest of it's pretty dang good. So we'll see how this turns out. So I've been working back here this morning and working on cleaning stuff out and everything else. And I got myself that nice lane going back into the woods so I can get rid of some boulders and rocks, pulling trees and all the root systems out of the ground, cleaning this all up. This pile right here was 2 big stumps and a lot of boulders. You can see the pile of boulders back there. But I'm just gonna say that Tracy nicknamed my poor little tractor Pop. What does POP stand for?
Piece of poop.
Piece of poop. Well, that piece of poop has a lot on it, and it's just ripping them out. That is actually a tree. Look at all the ground that came with it. This is a lot of weight on this thing. Look at that thing. I actually just ripped this thing right out of the ground. So it's not so much a pile of poop now, because there's no way we would have done this without it.
Oh, she just looks like a...
It just got a little rustic look. It's patinaed. It's patinaed.
Yeah.
But I would have to say those rams are holding up.
Yeah, they are.
Because
You did a good job.
Yeah, you did a good job, yeah. Because I just put the bucket down in there and kept working at it and messing around with it and getting it loose. And then once I got it, and I could see the whole shaking and everything, and it looked like it was coming loose. I went up to it and hooked the chain onto it and just ripped the whole thing up in the air. Now I gotta sit here and shake it to get all the dirt off of it.
After our adventure.
So I gotta get all this dirt off of here. But right there's the rock that I saved for you.
Is it flat?
It is flat. It's a huge flat rock. Yeah. It's just I dug it out of there.
No way. Whoa.
Yeah.
Do we have a way of like etching on there or engraving on there?
I'll give you a chisel and a hammer and you can go just like the BC times.
Flintstone?
Mm-hmm.
Yabba dabba doo.
Yabba dabba doo. But yeah, I'm working back here. I got this nice little road. I'll clear it out back here. This is where I'm dumping all the boulders that Tracy's refusing. And this whole pile right here is all boulders.
Oh my. Is that a big flat one back there?
It's a huge one. And so I'm just dumping boulders back here because the shop will end out here a ways. So this will be out of the way. Just cleaning away. Firewood.
Right here.
Yeah, I know. That's why I've been cutting it. And now I got that there was actually 2 stumps. The other stump is on top of the stump pile. I don't know if you guys can see way over there, but a pile of stuff. There was 1 stump I pulled right out of there, and I actually getting so good with Pop, I planted it right on top. It's just moss. She's looking at it. It's an animal. It's gonna bite you.
No. It looks really like...
But I got a couple of rocks in here yet I gotta get at, but then these trees right here gotta come out. And then I can just start pushing all of the twigs and stuff into a pile right here. It'll be ready to go. And then work over in that corner, move the shed, clean all of this out. Got another big stump right over there that Pop's just is gonna laugh at. Just rip her right out.
I'd be like, hold my beer.
Hold my beer. It'll take a minute here. Alrighty, well, I'm gonna shake this thing. I just use the hydraulic rams and just jerk it up and down and knock all the dirt off, and then I'll dump it over on top of the stump pile that's gonna be burning. It's time to get to work, I guess. Because somebody wants to go on an adventure.